The establishment is coming after me. I've had a lot of threats about my fundraising. I'm asking people to go to my website at nancymace.org to help me to show their support, because there are folks that are coming after me tonight.
I'm glad you brought that up, because back in January, when there were the marathon votes for Kevin McCarthy to get this job, he was fighting to take the gavel. This is something that you said.
Matt Gaetz is a fraud. Every time he voted against Kevin McCarthy last week, he sent out a fundraising email. What you saw last week was a constitutional process diminished by those kinds of political actions.
Of course, now here we are in October. You and Congressman Gaetz are in agreement on at least ousting McCarthy. You were on a podcast together today. You yourself have been fundraising off that vote. How do you explain that to now?
No interview is safe for the 8 Republicans that voted to kick Kevin McCarthy out as Speaker, even the middle ground dwelling Nancy Mace, who had some explaining to do over calling Matt Gaetz batshit crazy for holding up McCarthy's nomination several months ago, but now following his lead on removal. So, Nancy, what is the answer to that question? You yourself have been fundraising
off that vote. How do you explain that to now?
Well, I have not been fundraising off of this every step of the way. I made my decision last night. I made the decision to fundraise over the last 24 hours because of the threats that I have received over fundraising and money drying up, which is why I need help. The establishment is coming after me. I've gotten a lot of threats from different groups and different members that they will withhold fundraising no matter what. And I do need help from the people. And that was a decision that I made late last night because of everything that was going on. And it is a genuine ask. I often will make my decisions on my own volition. I don't take pressure from the outside world or outside groups generally. I'm not beholden to anyone anywhere, not in D.C. I'm only beholden to the people. And I make decisions on legislation, on votes, generally on my own. I'm taking it from all sides right now. And because of the threats that I've been receiving over the last couple of weeks, it finally reached a point last night.
So Representative Mace is only fundraising because her former friends turned Republican enemies are coming for her political life. I'm going to guess that she could have seen this coming, since McCarthy's political life was just cut short by her joining with 7 other conservatives to end it.
Should he and the other 7 be kicked out of the conference?
Well, I don't see how they can really be part of a conference when they they come on the inside, listen to what's going on, and go outside and lob bombs in the middle. If it was up to me, I'd vote for it. I mean, it's a waste of time having conversations with these people.
And to have, colleagues out there that are threatening to kick us out of the conference, kick us out of the caucuses, kick us out of our committees. I heard another rumor today from the media that someone's trying to take my committee gavel out of oversight, out of my hands, even though I've done a tremendous job on the inquiry and the investigations on oversight. We shouldn't punish people for their principles. We shouldn't punish people for their values.
If these folks weren't in such important positions of power, whose decisions affect nearly every American's life, this drama would actually be fun to watch. Because we all know that once the facade is gone, fake politicians start to get really real and start spilling the beans on each other. Speaking of which, watch a much looser Kevin McCarthy, who was inching much closer to the I don't give a damn energy. Watch him reveal a conversation he had with Nancy Mace's chief of staff, who told him that her attacks were not based in truth.
Nancy Mace is a whole nother story, okay? Let's just be honest here. I called Nancy Mace's chief of staff yesterday. And, because I called the chief of staff? Well, she was on The View saying I didn't keep my word, so I didn't know what to... Listen, I can't say this in the press, but okay. But so, no, you keep it among yourselves, right? I just said to him, I said, can you please tell me, I don't understand, where have I not kept my word? You know what her chief of staff said? You have kept your word, 100%. Look, I bite my lip. I let people say things that are not true, but it's not right. It is not right. Her chief of staff told all of us we have kept every single one of our words. And he said he's told her that too. Now, if somehow he gets fired, I'll still get him a job.
He went so far as to say that her staffer might get fired over this revelation, making sure to plant some seeds of division in both her mind and theirs. It's going to get nasty from here on out. It's a signal that the Republican Civil War that Matt Gaetz triggered just might be evolving into a GOP Cold War, where chiefs of staff are snitching on their bosses and political careers are being plotted against behind closed doors. And Representative Mace isn't very happy about this McCarthy situation, where he's responding and talking about secrets behind closed doors, which means that this fight is far from over.
Well, clearly he has not kept his word. I was very public about the deals I negotiated with the former speaker and the timeline for those deals. All of that is public record. And, he got fired Tuesday night for not keeping his promises. And from my perspective, to throw a member of Hill's staff under the bus like that and to try to intimidate me through my chief is not the kind of ethical or unethical behavior that I'm going to champion.